Hi guys, how you doing? It's your girl Mo here again. So this evening I just want to share about how I have observed that people are becoming increasingly inquisitive. People now ask a lot of personal questions. When you meet people, they want to know about your life, where you're from, what you do, what you ate yesterday night, how your evening went. They just want to know so much about your life, your project, your relationships. I'm like, what is going on in the world? People want to know so much more. Personally, I'm that kind of person who doesn't volunteer too much information. I don't share too much information about my personal life, and at the same time I do not really ask people questions about their personal life. Even if we're related, we are close family members, I really do not ask for personal information or ask them personal questions. If they're willing to share, I listen, but if they are not, I probably would not ask, except if I am aware you've told me about maybe a project, and of course I feel like the right thing for me to do is to follow up once in a while, not like always, but once in a while I could check on you to say, oh, how's that project going on? I hope you are doing well. If you need help, if you need me to do anything for you, please do let me know, and what have you. But these days people just want to know too much. Like, people want to know too much. And then I told myself there's actually a need for me to find a way to answer questions tactically or in a diplomatic manner. If I don't want, of course I don't want to tell lies. I don't want to give you false information. If you do ask me certain questions and I'm not comfortable answering, I don't want to tell lies. And there are instances where you can't dodge some kind of questions. You can't dodge, and you can't pretend like you are deaf. You can't pretend like you didn't hear the question. So what do you do in those instances? So one thing that I came up with is that I sat myself down one day and I said to myself, like, that's Mo, when people ask you certain questions that you feel you don't want to answer, you believe you don't hold them that information, you need to come up with certain tactical responses. And one of the responses that I came up with is this. Are you ready to hear? Are you ready to know? This is a response: let us wait and see what God has in store. And in most cases, this response is very, very apt. Like, you're asking me about my personal project. Like, why do you really want to know about my personal project if we're not that close? Like, if it's not like you're going to contribute anything to the project, you're not going to advance the project, and you're asking me like, why, like, how, when, where, I just tell you, let's wait and see what God has in store. Let's wait and see what God has in store. So that is one beautiful response I give to people. So I'm teaching you guys. So from your hand, as you're watching me, like, how have you been handling people asking you too many private questions about yourself? They've been asking you personal questions that you do not wish to answer. And in your situation when you do not feel like telling lies and you do not want to, outrightly ignore the question so that you don't appear unwise or not tactical, how do you respond? What kind of responses do you give them? I would like to hear from you guys. Please share in the comment section so that we can learn from each other. Till we'll see you again, it's bye from your girl Mo. Bye guys.